We're just a handful of days away from the biggest wrestling show of the year, and alarmingly, there are currently a number of superstars who appeared and wrestled at last year's WrestleMania, but aren't involved in any plans this year. Some of these wrestlers include the modern-day Maharaja Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the former WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Asuka, just to name a few. Just to briefly mention, Asuka's original opponent was supposed to be Mandy Rose, who would have won the #1 contender Fatal 4-Way match on SmackDown Live, but of course this is now cancelled. One big addition that's noticeably been omitted from this year's WrestleMania card is the presence of The Undertaker. Ever since WrestleMania 7, all the way back in 1991, The Undertaker started one of the most famous streaks in wrestling, racking up win after win after win. The streak of wins was relatively unnoticed until WrestleMania 14, when he went up against half-brother Kane. It was briefly mentioned on commentary that The Undertaker was undefeated at WrestleMania. It was then frequently mentioned on commentary at WrestleMania 17 during his battle with Triple H, and Taker even started to acknowledge it at WrestleMania 18 when he visually indicated with his fingers it was now 10-0 after defeating 16-time world champion Ric Flair. The streak started to receive greater importance at WrestleMania 21 when The Undertaker faced the legend killer Randy Orton. Every year after that, rather than a build-up of a rivalry between two foes, it focused his matches on the streak itself, as wrestlers each year boasted on how they would be the one to break it. The Undertaker would appear at every WrestleMania from its 17th edition, fighting to keep his streak alive. He would rack up 21 wins in a row before falling to Brock Lesnar, in what in our opinion was the greatest WrestleMania moment in history. Taker would still wrestle at Mania, defeating the likes of John Cena, Bray Wyatt and Shane McMahon. He would gain his second loss from Roman Reigns, but nevertheless he still wrestled. But this year's WrestleMania could mark the first time in 18 years The Undertaker won't appear or wrestle at the showcase of the Immortals. Brad Shepard mentioned on the Oh You Didn't Know podcast recently that WWE is now operating as if The Undertaker will not be at WrestleMania, which is a big surprise to people internally. They did expect he would probably at least appear. They would work it out. Doesn't look like that's going to happen now, at least as of right now. They're operating as if he won't be there. So very interesting. Whilst you can't rule anything out with the WWE as they could hold him off for a surprise appearance, it seems The Undertaker is taking a sabbatical from WWE until May, where he is slated to wrestle his first match of 2019 at the 3rd May event in Saudi Arabia. It's a good indication that the dead man hasn't fully retired from in-ring competition and is perhaps just taking a much lighter schedule. Those who were hoping that it could have been the Phenom against the Demon King at WrestleMania, fear not, as WWE could implement those plans either later on in the year or at WrestleMania 36, which is set to take place at Tampa Bay's Raymond James Stadium. Another omission would be 16-time world champion John Cena, who has been advertised to appear at WrestleMania, but he's not been seen on WWE television since January, appearing on Raw just before the Royal Rumble. It was rumoured that Cena was supposed to be in a feud with Lars Sullivan leading up to a match at WrestleMania. Those plans were nixed after Sullivan walked out during a live taping of Raw, where they were supposed to tape a backstage segment. Many speculate that Cena will still appear as Kurt Angle's opponent and be his true last opponent in the WWE. However, that hasn't been confirmed. WWE seems to be changing its plan with Corbin. The word backstage, according to Shepard again, is that WWE are considering having John Cena interrupt Elias's performance at WrestleMania. It might not be a full match, but Cena could just be picking up his WrestleMania paycheck for a quick 5-minute appearance. As for the rest, which include the likes of The Bar, Gloriously Gable, Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura, The Usos, Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens, it seems frightfully obvious that they won't have any real presence this year, and will simply be thrown into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal for a quick payday. The Battle Royal is something we're going to look at in detail, so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. What do you guys think of The Undertaker not appearing this year? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.